Superman issue 27, Brian Michael Bendis writing with Ivan Reis on the art. So yeah, we're nearing the end of Bendis' Superman run. Superman was fighting the alien, Sinmar, whose name I only remember because it was said a lot in this issue. So I thank you for that, Bendis.
Oh, one of those issues, was it?
I thank you for that. No, but this was a good issue. I mean, obviously the art and action's been torturous, and yeah, you'll find it again this month because you're on action again.
God, I am, aren't I?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
But a lot more whiskey that week.
Yes, but we got Ivan Reis here, so obviously the art is very solid. A lot of big splash pages, a lot of action, and we have a B plot again with Lois and with Lana. And if you remember last time they went into the Phantom Zone at the end of the issue, we had Superman and Sinmar go in there. Superman basically, as a last ditch effort, sort of brought them into the Phantom Zone to sort of keep the fight from spilling anywhere else. And Zadu shows up, the Phantom King, the first Kryptonian ever put in the Phantom Zone. He tries to interfere a little bit, but obviously doesn't go so well. Especially later on in the issue when Superman opens like a portal back to the real world, and Zadu tries to escape. And Superman's like, no, not you. It actually really made me laugh. It was kind of like that meme where someone will say, oh, all these great characters should do this thing, and it'll be like a lineup of 9, but it'll just get to one in the middle, it'll say, not you.
Like, thank you for all the great whatever, you in the middle. Yeah, another one.
Yeah, it was basically that sort of moment. He just sort of grabs his, no, not you, and throws him back. I actually like what it does, though, in terms of, like, basically Superman, who tried to communicate last time, he keeps trying here. He's like, you know what? I hit Luthor, I hit Brainiac, I hit Mongol and Darkseid, but this doesn't feel right. Something about this doesn't feel quite right. I have to try and show that I don't want to fight this thing. Whoever he is, I have to try and show that I'm not. So he basically tries to sort of point to himself and say, I'm Superman. And he does make some contact because Sinmar's like, Sinmar. But then Sinmar just immediately starts fighting him again. He's like, no, I have to try and stop this. So he opens a portal back to the real world and is like, hey, like, show me where you're from. Like, who are you? Where are you from? Because Calyx has nothing. Like, no idea where this guy comes from, what planet he's from, anything. So he follows Sinmar, who basically leads him back to his planet. And there's an orange sun, which, I'm not entirely sure what an orange sun's going to do to Superman's body, but he does say he feels a bit weird and a bit woozy. So we'll see what the ultimate effects are. But obviously he's not going to be at the same levels of powers.
I thought I read an article about this, because I didn't realize it was about Superman 27 or whatever it is. I kind of just read it. Oh, yeah, Superman has a new weakness. And from what I read on the article, it was saying it affects his brain as well as his body. So he's not just weak and powerless. His mental function diminishes as well.
There is a line about his intellectual power isn't there, but I kind of just took that from the line that was said that he's not like super smart anymore. Like, he's not got the super, because early on in the issue it makes a point of him saying, hey, if you start speaking your language I can start to decode it and figure it out quite quickly. I took that to mean as well, he can't do shit like that anymore. Like
that's fair enough then. Like, it may have been could easily have just been a misleading headline.
They may be right. Maybe the next issue will because it's basically right at the end where Sinmar's like, okay, now you're here, we're going to like try you and punish you for your existence, but there's no need to fight anymore because you're weak, kind of thing. So Superman's kind of been led into this. I mean, I don't know if it was a trap per se. I don't think this was Sinmar's plan, but the way things played out and the opportunity presented itself, he's just like, well, there's no point in fighting you now. And it's worth mentioning he's speaking properly now, because here he's got like a translation thing, so he can just speak and we understand him, and it's fine. But yeah, I mean, maybe he is dumb. Maybe he'll be kind of an idiot next issue, and that'll be kind of like what they do with the Orange Sun. So no, I mean, it's interesting to see how different suns affect him from time to time, like the different colors. The Lois and Lana story isn't much to it; it's just a couple of pages. But Lana comes over and is like, hey, I want to get your like opinion on like the interview I did with Clark before I publish anything. And Lois is like, oh, geez, it's that bad? He said something, that I might not like. But she insists that Lana read something before she publish anything. And it turns out Lois has actually written a new book. Because she says, hey, this is my book on the tablet. And she's like, oh, the one you just, dead? Like, yeah, I read it already. It's like, no, this is a new one. And there's a joke about their spelling, because the first thing Lana says is a typo, and Lois is like, yep, there will be. But that's basically all that side plot is. So we'll get to kind of what the reveal of that is next time as well, I assume. But a lot of this is the fight. A lot of this is Superman trying to reason. I think I enjoyed it kind of in that very Superman way, where he's trying to, no matter what, do this peacefully. He's trying to stop this from being a fight the entire time. So there is that fundamental level that I think Bendis really gets with Superman, is this constant trying, like, no matter what, to do the peaceful outcome, to not just be to be a fist fight. And I appreciate that. It's kind of it's what we always talk about in Star Trek Next Generation, about Picard trying to do the diplomatic thing at all times. It's always just a last resort.
Picard is basically just a knockoff Superman.
It kind of is, yeah. We say that a lot. We were talking about Next Gen. Whenever he makes a speech about doing the right thing, it's like, yeah, this is this is why Star Trek has changed so much, because much like Superman, there's this belief that the general audience can't stomach at the proper Star Trek story. So now it has to all be action, whiz bang, explosions everywhere. It can't just be like Star Trek, the captain of the Enterprise doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It has to be whiz bang.
I wonder then, if we look at the early seasons of Discovery and maybe Picard, and we go, oh, it's all been infected by the J.J. Abrams, need for action. Maybe we should be blaming Man of Steel for its shit.
J.J. Abrams Superman was first. Superman. J.J. Abrams Star Trek was first.
No, I know, but maybe instead we should be more directly blaming Man of Steel for introducing, if even Superman needs to change, then Star Trek has to, because I get why they did that for the big blockbuster movie reboot.
Okay, sure.
I get that. But instead of the shows kind of reverting back.
There's a lot of parallels. Although Superman, to be fair, I mean, it's not a one-to-one, because Superman, because, we go through a lot of different runs, we go through different arcs, there are obviously lots and lots of like good Superman stories and comics still that still feel very Superman. It's more just the movies that are struggling to be Superman. But, that's what it is. But yeah, no, it's a fine issue. It was a fairly quick read. We're building up to wherever it's going. I will say, this is probably the most interested I've been in Sinmar as a character, because up until now he's just kind of been like, he's another alien with super strength and shit, who wants to fight Superman. These moments where it felt like he was actually starting to listen, and maybe Superman can convince him to, or talk to him and find a peaceful resolution, is making him far more intriguing than he was before. Admittedly, he does sort of say at the end they're still going to like try him, and I don't know if execute was a word used, but at the very least, punishment was. So we'll see how that plays out. But I do wonder if it's going to be this convincing them that he is not a threat, and yes, again, a peaceful solution, which would be a far more satisfying conclusion to this than anything else. So we'll see if that's actually the path it goes down. Solid 7 as far as the rating goes. It's good. It's not great. It's not one of his best issues, but it's not also not like issue 25 that was honestly one of the by far the worst issues of the whole Superman series. Action, annoyingly, was the better book for a long time, and then John Romita Jr. came infected. And then it sank. It hurts so much. Anyway, that's Superman 27.